Most clients find agents' commissions fair, right? Key takeaway number 6. And I know that this is a big topic, right? Because NAR, right? Commission changes have happened. But I've been in the industry for about 23 years and I've seen quite a bit. And one of the things that I've seen was the transition of Dodd-Frank, right? So if anybody remembers that, it was a transition of lenders or mortgage brokers transitioning to a different sort of fee structure, right? So mortgage lenders went through this in around 2010, 2011, due to the 2008 crisis that we had. One of the things that I saw during that time was that actually, instead of decreasing commissions, I saw an actual increase in commission, right? I feel like transparency is key. I'm not necessarily, and I don't think it's negative to be able to explain to somebody how much you're worth and what you're willing to charge for your services and what you do. The only thing I can tell you as an agent, make sure that you over deliver on the value, right? You want to make sure that you actually like own what you said you're gonna do, like that you actually are worth what you're charging people, right? Like people are paying you thousands of dollars, and you got to be able to make sure that not only you're prepared, that you're a professional, and that you're just a great negotiator, right? And you got to be able to demonstrate that, not just say that. And then, so despite speculation and uncertainty around how the NAR settlement would affect agent commission, 73% of sellers and 70% of buyers found their agent's commission fair. 7% of sellers and 9% of buyers even said commissions were too low. Wow. So I love those 7% and 9%. I love you guys. You guys keep saying commissions are too low, that we need to increase our commissions. And I think as a professional and somebody that always strives to deliver value to sellers and sell their property for the most money, I think that sometimes we can get into situations where I think you can't get the best service and have a discounted commission because it costs money to be able to do professional photography, to be able to do a 3D tour on a home, to be able to do a great social media campaign, to do paid ads, to do YouTube ads. And as a marketing agency, I could tell you that back in the day, we used to go to the OC register, right? And like people used to be on magazines, right? And people were on the penny savers and just in different ads that were a thing back in the day. Radio, people did all kinds of things, right? Today, we do things in the same way, but through social media or through, even digital TV, right? It's something that we do here as an office to be able to help our agents or our clients actually expose their property to the masses and be able to get the most amount of just the highest price possible for their home. I mean, people want us to take care of their property, right? They want us to make sure that we don't leave any money on the table. They're trusting us with us having a strategy and a process. And we really pride ourselves in our process and in our strategy because we ensure that we don't leave any stone unturned. The next thing about this consumer report that they're talking about is notable year over year changes. During a year of full of uncertainty in the real estate market, consumers reported some big changes impacting everything from how they find agents to how they approach offers. Here are some important differences to keep an eye on. Typical increase in a seller Zillow home value index, $21,000. So, over last year to this year, Zillow has said that people's value has actually increased over $21,000. So sometimes when I'm making my prospecting calls and I'm talking to clients, I'm letting them know, I know that we spoke about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, but did you know that your property's value has increased since we last spoke? I would love to be able to share with you some insights of some of the new homes that have sold around your area. Even if you would like, go visit some of the properties that are currently active around your community. That way we could just get a better feel for what's kind of selling around your area and see if we can actually get you a price that, might make a little bit of sense for you and get you to Aruba or Cancun or wherever you're trying to go, right? Typical buyer's age, 2 years. So most buyers have been in the market for at least 2 years, right? Share of sellers who had to sell their home quickly. So that rose by 2% as well. And share of sellers who discovered their agent from a referral, that rose by 3%. So keep striving to give your sellers just the utmost, again, value. Try to give them the best service possible. Referrals are still happening, and it's one of the best ways. Actually, in our office, most of the transactions, which, believe it or not, are actually from referrals or SOI business, business that the agents are able to generate on their own. We do provide a lot, we do a lot, but again, we teach our agents to see past that commission check, right? And look for that referral and that review and that next client. Like, really try to give your clients the best service possible. That's really going to put you in a situation where the online transaction is just a catalyst, right? To get the engine going and get you to the higher commission check, which is typically the second check. And so I like to encourage my agents to just see past the commission, or the agents here on our team to see past the commission and actually work towards that referral or that review. And that's where they're going to gain the most value when working with these leads. And then 4% of buyers are more likely to view a home if the listing included a floor plan they like. So that rose by 4 points as well. We're starting to see 6% less first-time home buyers in the market, and we're starting to see 8% less sellers who temporarily took their home off the market. So 8% of sellers are taking their properties off the market. 11% of sellers who received an offer that waived the home inspection. So that is becoming less and less of a trend. And that usually is a typical sign that's telling you that we're going more into a buyer's market. When you are just basically accepting offers as is, no repairs or anything like that, that's usually a sign that we're in a seller's market. But once you start seeing that we're not removing any home inspection contingencies or anything like that, usually that's going to tell you that we're starting to enter more of a buyer's market. And as an investor, I always kind of hear people, you want to sell in the summer and then buy in the winter. There's some advantages in each one, right? But you want to make sure that you have an agent who has a strategy. The number one thing that you need to make sure as a consumer is when you interview multiple agents, ask them, what strategy are you going to be utilizing, or what strategies are you utilizing in today's market to be able to help me? I think that's a very, very important question that always goes unasked and most of the time goes unanswered. So make sure that you guys do ask your agents, how many reviews, how many sales? If it's not in the individual, do they have a team? Do they have a process? Do they have somebody that's going to be able to help? And we have 16% less sellers who actually sold the property and bought another home. And then so that tells me that investors are actually exiting the market in today's time, right? Now, we're going to be chatting about some regional insights, right? So every buyer and seller has a unique story, right? But during the courses of our research, some interesting regional trends emerge. So here are a few details to keep in mind depending on where you work. So whether you're in the West Coast, Northeast, Midwest, or the South, here are some really cool things that you guys need to take a look at, right? Sellers are most likely to hire in the West an agent who offers high-resolution photography. So are you investing in your photography? Is your photographer in-house? Do you have a video team and a professional agent? Is your agent utilizing Listing Showcase, right? Do you even know what Listing Showcase is, right? As an agent, if your brokerage is not providing you that as a advantage, right? Less than 10% of agents that are out there on the market actually utilize Listing Showcase as a tool set, right? And I think that is a little bit low, right? I think a lot of people need to be taking advantage of some of these tools that are out there and some of the things that are helping sellers position their property for top dollar. And this is what I mean when agents skimp on their money or investing into their sellers. I could see the reasoning why people don't want to pay them a higher commission. But when you have an agent who goes above and beyond, puts the money where his mouth is, and actually does his job and creates an amazing marketing campaign, I don't see why a seller can't pay them 3.5% commission or even possibly higher. These are things that we need to be kind of looking out for. And then in the West, buyers are least likely out of the entire country to prefer having phone calls with their agents. So people in the West Coast, They like people to slide in their DMs, people to send them text messages. So make sure that you guys take advantage of that, right? Make sure that you understand how the consumer speaks and how they love to communicate. It's going to be super important and super valuable for you to understand how you communicate, because that's building rapport, right? One of the things that I found in my career was understanding what rapport actually means, and I started understanding when I read the definition, right? So the definition of rapport is essentially to have great communication and be empathetic towards that other person's feelings and concerns, and being able to just understand where they're coming from. And great communication means when you speak and when you listen, right? It's not just one way or the other. So asking your sellers or your buyers, hey, which is the preferred way of communication for you? Is it through email, through phone, through text? Do you want me to text you? They might have a busy lifestyle and they might not want to get bombarded with phone calls. So I like to ask this question right at the beginning of the process, because I want to ensure that I have the best communication with my clients and that I'm not just bugging them, and that they give me permission to give them a call. So in the Northeast, prospective buyers are most likely to hire an agent who's active on social media. So if you're from the Northeast, make sure that you guys are on social. Make sure you guys become an influencer. Make sure that you guys are delivering a ton of value. These are for my people in the Northeast and New Jersey. I met some great agents at Zillow, at the lab event at the RE Collective. If you guys haven't heard of RE Collective, make sure that you guys visit their website, click on the link, talk to them. They're amazing. They have a great community. It's not salesy. It's all about how do agents perform better on Follow Up Boss. As you guys know, I'm a big Follow Up Boss user. Our entire office is a huge Follow Up Boss user. We love utilizing Follow Up Boss. We just feel like it's the best kind of tool set. And there's a lot of great insights in that community. So make sure that you guys join that community. RE Collective, great people. Chase, Lisa, Yvonne, Jeff. And if I missed anybody else, I'm sorry, but they're a great team and people that you guys should be. Oh, and Elena Key. They're some great people, and I think you guys should be, chatting with them and hearing everything that they have to say.